Call this special meeting to order. Welcome. Could we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Toth. Here. Councilmember Grzybowski.
Present.
Councilmember Friedel.
Present.
Councilmember Kalavianakis.
Here.
Councilmember Skillicorn.
Here.
Vice Mayor McMahon.
Here.
Mayor Dickey.
Here. Thank you, Linda. Grady, do you want to start us off?
I thought our attorney was going to do this. John, are you?
I'm on. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't know you were on. We had talked, and since this was written by our attorney, I'm going to turn it over to our town attorney, who will basically give the staff report on this.
Sure thing. Everybody hear me all right on that end?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thanks. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm with you here telephonically, obviously. This evening tonight is consideration by the Council of some or all of previously rescinded sections of the Town Zoning Code, Section 6, which have to do with sign regulations, and then Resolution 2012-31. The Council will recall that at the January 3rd, 2023 meeting, a majority of the Council voted to rescind those provisions that I just referenced. Following that, there's been some discussion back and forth, including an executive session that was held on Tuesday night pursuant to the open meeting law. And staff received direction following that or in that meeting to notice this meeting for discussion and consideration of the item before you. Again, this is a decision of the Council for consideration and discussion, and I will leave it at that, absent any questions for me.
Thank you. Any questions
Yes,
for Aaron?
Yes.
Yes,
Is that
Vice
fair?
Mayor?
Aaron, it's my understanding that there was a repeal of the Fountain Hills sign ordinance. And
Yes,
therefore
that
that's
was
what
the
we're
action.
reinstating.
Yeah, some
And-
significant portions of that signed ordinance. Yes, Mayor and Vice Mayor.
So wouldn't it be safe to reinstate the whole thing and then just say something to with the exception that 607 and 608 will temporarily not be enforced?
Well, the recommendation, or excuse me, the direction from the Council that we received was to bring these items back for reinstatement, and it's up to the Council for consideration. Respectfully, Mayor and Vice Mayor, I've provided my legal recommendation and advice in executive session, and so I'd prefer to not have further legal discussions about it. But I think it would behoove the Council to consider reinstatement. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Anybody? Oh, go ahead. Yes, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, put your mic on, please. Sorry. Okay.
Thank you. Regarding the reinstatement, the problem that I had from the beginning was not section 6.07, but 6.08, which were the temporary signs, which we actually addressed this week in the town council meeting on Tuesday. I think the crux of my problem and the reason that I voted to repeal in the first place was the restrictions to our business owners and to our realtors regarding this section of the ordinance. What I'd like to do is reinstate this ordinance and carve out an exception for the business owners and for the realtors. On the other hand, I think the laws will prevent us from doing a content neutral or singling out anybody. So what I'd like to do is restrict and suspend the enforcement of 608 temporarily until we revise this section 608 through amendment, through the town retreat that we're going to be attending, and to give direction to John Wesley before that. So then we can discuss it at the town retreat, the revisions that we'd like to see go in place. It could go back to planning and zoning, and then we could then revisit it as a town council with all those provisions sorted out. But I'd like to do, though, is make sure that we allow for the restricted enforcement. We actually enforce the whole thing. But if you go to section 6.02, A-frame or T-frame signs, meaning self-supporting, temporary, lightweight, portable signs made of durable, non-pliant materials such as wood, sheet metal, or plastic that are designed to rest atop the ground without penetrating the ground. I would like these to not be enforced, but to enforce the rest of the code, which would be bandit signs, rogue signs, or any other signs that you might see popping up right now. I think that'd be a way to help our business owners, help our realtors, restore the sign ordinance in its entirety, including the sections on political speech, and then revisit this through the amendment process, the retreat process, the planning and zoning process, and then to bring it back here with the amendments.
This is Vice Mayor.
Excuse me, just let me try to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
So we would be reinstating zoning ordinance section 607 and 608, subject to a temporary stay of enforcement of regulations related to temporary signs, except for the material that they're made out of,
Right.
to make sure that that part is enforced, but everything else is temporarily, doesn't have to be enforced until we do all those things at the retreat and such, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That was my understanding.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I see confusion. Sharon?
No, actually, you satisfied my confusion. I'm much better now. The confusion, I think, was still left over from Brenda talking, so you helped me understand. Sorry, Brenda, but I need it in non-lawyer terms. Sorry, love.
Yeah.
So,
Someone want to make a motion?
yeah, do you want to make sure that you incorporate what we just said? Or do you want,
Yes. Yes, well, I'll make a motion to incorporate what Jenny said and as to reinforcement of the town of Fountain Hills sign ordinance in accord with what Mayor Dickey said.
Do you know about the speaker card?
I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, before the vote, there's, I think, a speaker card.
Oh, there's a speaker card. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Vice Mayor, we have a speaker card here we're going to listen to. Thanks.
Paul Hickman.
Good evening, counselors. No problem. Just real quickly, I'm Paul Hickman with Clear Channel Outdoor, one of the largest billboard companies in the United States. And we just have a couple of quick questions. If you can't answer them tonight, we understand. First and foremost, has anybody applied for any signage of any type since the ordinance was repealed?
John, do you want to come up? And it would actually come from our Development Services Department. And so, John, I believe the question is from the gentleman, has there been an application received yet? Did you say for a billboard?
No. For any type of signage, including billboards.
For any?
Any type.
Mayor and Council,
In the last 34 days.
I'm not aware of any, but I would have to know for sure. I'd have to go back and check because those don't come directly to me. They're reviewed by other staff members, so they could have had one, but I'm not aware of it.
And then the other thing we would like to share, if this is going to go under text amendment review, that there is a stakeholders meetings, if it's going to involve off-premise signage, billboards, that the industry is invited and is involved, and it's not singled out, but everybody should be here at the table. And I would encourage you, out of an abundance of caution, these last 34 days of being an open, not protected, you should close it back up.
And we will be going through the P&Z process and then back to council. So we will be doing that. Thank you. any, I'm sorry, so we do have a motion on the table. Well, Aaron, do you understand the motion?
I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it back to make sure that I did, Mayor. And
Thank
if
you.
anything gets lost in translation, you're
Okay,
welcome. My understanding is that the motion is to reinstate section 6.07, 6.08 of the zoning ordinance and resolution 2012-31 with a temporary stay of enforcement of temporary sign regulations. And then there were some provisions about enforcement of materials that signs are made from. And I didn't catch all of them, but I'll look for head nods to the extent Director Wesley recalls exactly which provisions were noted. Did I state the motion correctly?
it seems like you did. Brenda?
Yes.
Well, I think we were not going to enforce for the temporary lightweight portable durable non-plant signs. That would be the non-enforcement. Everything else would be enforced, as long as that's what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was the opposite.
Oh, but except then that would enforce placement and stuff. Do you want to do that?
I think we're going to want to stay, if I may, I think we're going to want to stay enforcement of the provisions related to temporary signs. So whether they're with respect to the materials that they're made out of or where they're placed, I think that's what the council was after. But if I'm wrong, please, I'll stand corrected.
Well, we're amending that.
This is Vice Mayor, and that was part of my motion. You understood it correctly, Aaron.
Okay, is that all right then?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay,
I'll second.
thank you.
Do you have a second?
Yeah, well, there was a second. All those in favor, let's do a roll call because we're going to do that for the minutes, I think, from now on, so might as well get used to it. Roll call vote?
Councilmember Toth.
No.
Councilmember Grzybowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Fidel.
No.
Councilmember Kalavianakis.
Yes.
Councilmember Skillicorn.
Yes.
Vice Mayor McMahon.
Yes.
Mayor Dickey.
Aye. The
Ayes have it.
motion passes.
Passes.
I'm going to get used to doing this too, because I've heard from people that they don't always hear what's happening. So it's 4-2, correct? Correct. Okay, thank you. All right. I'm sorry? 5-2. Yes, I'm sorry. She's not here, but she's on the phone. Sorry about that. I'm all discombobulated tonight. All right, then I think that's it for the good of the order. We can adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.